Here's a life lesson for you. Filming YouTube videos never gets easier. You just need to keep on practicing. That is a life lesson that I really need to share with you guys. But this is not the video. Let's start back again. Hello and welcome back to Sandra's Shelf, where we talk all things self-help. So today I want to share my 23 lessons I've learned in 23 years. And obviously I am young, I feel young, I am young, and every age is a young age. If you're younger than me or if you're older than me, just know that you are still young, or at least your mind is still young, and nothing is set in stone just yet, okay? Okay, so before we dive into these lessons, I know that some of them might be controversial. You might not agree with them, you might agree with them, you might not agree with them right now. Maybe at some point in your life you might agree with them. But yeah, I think a fair warning is needed. So let's just jump right in and hope for the best. My first lesson is that growth is uncomfortable. And why am I saying this is because in the last year or so, I've been trying to change, I've been trying to grow, I've been trying to look at things differently, and it's so painful and it's so uncomfortable. And I've been literally finding myself telling people and telling myself in the mirror, like, I am uncomfortable. But this new discomfort is so much better than the discomfort I had initially. So the discomfort of staying the same and suffering for the same reasons, and I needed to step into that growth mindset and those growing habits that are very uncomfortable, especially at the beginning, in order to like make my life better. I don't know if that makes sense, but I'm sure you can recall a point in time where you tried to do something differently, or you tried to change something and you just felt so uncomfortable and you just want to go back to how you were despite knowing that it doesn't work for you. So yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about here. My second tip is to learn extra skills. Now, if you're like me, you might be kind of lazy or procrastinating, or think that like you're only good at one or two things and you shouldn't be good at everything and you can't be good at anything. But that is a lie that we feed to people in order to have people inside boxes, in order to have people working at certain companies, at certain tasks. And that's not who we are. We are multifaceted, I believe. I believe that there is always room to learn. My father always says every day he learns something new, and every time he learns something new from me. So that is such a nice thought. That is such a nice idea, that no matter how tough life gets, or how hopeless you feel, or how stuck you feel, you can always learn something new. You can always learn to change or to grow or to adapt, and that is actually comforting. Yes, you might be overwhelmed because there's so much to learn all the time, but learning new skills will always be an invaluable skill in of itself. So obviously you can't learn all the skills, right? Because that's just not reasonable. You have to learn a handful of skills and try to like keep learning in them and growing them and being good at them. But if you look at like our society nowadays and its shift towards the online world, it's good to learn some online skills like online marketing, online YouTube making, stuff like that. You know, even on TikTok, we've all seen it, how like TikTok and learning how to do TikTok has helped and changed people's lives forever. So I feel like we should not discredit learning new skills, no matter how old you are. My third lesson is to be yourself. Okay, so you might say, yeah, but aren't we all ourselves? Aren't we all just, you know, being ourselves, whatever? But it's not true. I don't think it's true. I know who I am. I know my interests. I know my passion. I know, you know, how I feel, how I react, what are my triggers. In order to really be yourself, you have to spend time with yourself. You have to really question yourself, and you have to really get to know yourself in order to see like, this is me, this is how I am, and I could always change and I can always be different, but I choose to be like this right now in time, or this is how I am right now in time. It's kind of comforting knowing who you are, you know, having that kind of self-awareness, because then you can either decide to be the same or decide to change. And again, that change is very uncomfortable at first, but it is worth it at some point. So When I say be yourself, don't copy other people. It's not worth it. If you have a passion, or if you have a similar passion to someone else, do it, but don't copy other people. It doesn't reflect well on you. No idea is original, but you should take all the ideas that you know and make something original out of it, right? So just be yourself, and the people that like you for you will come to you. My fourth lesson is to ask for help. Yes, I said it, ask for help. Don't even care, just do it. The worst thing that can happen is someone doesn't help you. The best thing that can happen is that someone actually helps you and you did not expect it. So ask for help if you're struggling mentally. It's so hard, but it's so worth it. Try to ask for help, and if you don't get the help, keep asking for help. Keep asking, because at some point someone's going to listen to you. At some point you'll have a good therapist. At some point you'll have better friends. At some point something will click somewhere. So the way I also ask for help or become more myself nowadays is being so brutally almost honest about my mental health and my mental conditions and everything I've been through, my mental, journey. And I used to be someone who struggled with showing that side of me, asking for help. But now I'm like, you know what? There's no point. Like, we're all on this earth and we're all on here together, and we need to be able to not only help ourselves but help other people, in my opinion. My fifth lesson is to let others judge you. Now, coming from a people-pleasing background, this one's really hard because I will bend over backward, do things, say things, and try and help and whatever, just to have someone to like me and love me and not judge me. But you know what? That has nothing to do with you. That really has nothing to do with you. People, no matter how great or horrible or beautiful or unattractive socially or conventionally, because I've been through all of that, people won't care. They will judge you because they want to judge you, or they will even judge you because they judge themselves or because they feel like they're judged. Let others judge you, but don't shy away from shining. Don't shy away to do things that you love. Don't shy away to be yourself, because judgment always happens and the brightest stars always get judged the most. My sixth lesson is show self-confidence and show self-love. And not only show it, but become it, do it, participate in it. Now, we just talked about judgment. Now, when you embark in this self-confidence, self-love journey, people's reaction to you will change, and it's not always for the better, but it's not always for the worse either. When you start to be like, you know what, I am great, I am smart, I am loving, I am deserving, people will respond to that. It's so much easier to tear someone down when they already feel low, and it's so much harder when someone has done the inner work to feel good by themselves to actually tear them down. And this is what I've noticed too. The other day, someone that I know very dear to me said, "Oh, you look good, you look pretty today." And instead of being like, "Oh no, I don't, I hate my body," and because those are feelings that are valid and that I feel most of the time, instead I showed myself love and I showed myself self-confidence, and I was like, "Thank you." And this person did a double take. They were like, "Is it the first time I compliment you in 2 years and you said thank you instead of no?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And I said yeah, and then it shifted everything. It shifts everything. It shifts everything in yourself and in how people respond and react to you. And honestly, I'd rather show myself that self-love. I'd rather grow my self-love and my self-confidence than have it externally all the time, because external people are not always there. So then what do you do when the door is closed and you're at home and you're with yourself and you have to deal with yourself and you look at yourself in the mirror? You really need to show yourself that you are loved, you are confident, you are beautiful, you are strong, etc. Lesson number 7, do not settle. Do not settle ever. Only settle when you feel like you're not settling. Only settle when you feel like you're getting something greater or bigger than you deserve, because then you're not settling, you're getting what you deserve, because we always like to downplay ourselves and downplay what we deserve. So if you feel like you don't deserve that thing and you shouldn't settle with that thing because it's greater than you, then settle. If you don't deserve a treatment but you're settling because you think that you deserve it, don't do that. Okay, do not do that. Do not settle ever. You will lose time, you will lose self-respect, you will lose self-love, and those are the most important things to your life: your time, your respect, and your love for yourself. So do not settle. Do not settle when you go out on a date. If you have values that you want to be met, if you have needs you want to be met within reason, make sure you go out with people that can meet that. Obviously, it's very confusing at first. It can be very misleading. Once you figure out your situation, once you figure someone out, just make sure you're not settling. Make sure you're not bending over backward or making yourself small or making yourself miserable just by accepting the bare minimum. You really want to be with people that have the same values and standards as you, or else you'll constantly feel like you're being dragged down, either by the way that they're treating you, or either by the way that, like, you know, you feel too advanced in your relationship with this person, or you feel too different in the relationship with this person. Like, there are differences that have to exist, but with your values and your standards of living, those are things that most people cannot go through. One party is always going to be much more miserable than the other, and you don't want that. Lesson number 8, don't be afraid to cut people out. In an ideal world, we all would be holding hands and singing along to songs, and there would be no war, there would be no crime, and everyone would be more or less equal, and everyone would be loved and have their needs met. But that's an idyllic world that we'll never achieve. We can do the best that we can to be peaceful and loving and respectful of other people and the nature around us. But at the end of the day, you have to accept that some people cannot be access to your energy or to your life. You have to accept that some people have an expiration date in your life, and you just really need to cut them out. If they're not treating you right, you have all the right to cut them out. You have all the right to find new people that are more in alignment with you, your message, your heart, everything. So don't be afraid. There's always gonna be somebody out there, always. But then again, also make sure you don't cut out good people, or people that, you know, help you grow, or people that actually love you and treat you the way you deserve just because you think you don't deserve it. Don't do that either, because that's also terrible. Lesson number 9, no one cares about you. Now, this is what I talk about when I say the controversial ideas are coming out. This is the one. So obviously people care about you. Obviously there are some people that care about you a bit more than others, but in the end, no one really cares about you. And the quicker you make peace with that, without, you know, the feelings of, oh, it's me against the world, or bitterness, or anger, or, you know, resentment, or fear of people, the better your life is gonna get. Because the thing is, we're all spinning around this earth and we're all trying to figure it out, and we all have our self-interest as the best interest. Now, we are able to have other people's self-interest in mind and in heart, and it is amazing. However, what ends up happening is that most of the people that have other people's self-interest, they have less of their own self-interest, and the people that have a lot of their own self-interest, they have less of other people's self-interest. Now, these two people come together, and what happens? A big imbalance. These people, the self-interest that they have for themselves lowers even more. Self-interest they have for other people grows even more. And then the other person, you can imagine what happens. Their self-interest grows, but their interest for other people does not grow, because they're getting that interest, right, from someone else. Now, so how do we help this situation? Well, in my opinion, is to accept that no one cares. So you need to care for yourself the most. You need to take care of yourself the most. And then, like they say, when there's an emergency on the airplane, after you secure your life mask, then you can help the other person. Sometimes you cannot secure the life mask, but that's when, you know, other people start to care, and some people care and they're nice, and, you know, but they've had their life mask first. So you need to do everything in your power to have your life mask first, and then you can help others. And that's the same. So sometimes you'll get help and you don't have your life mask on and you couldn't get to it, but the other person has their life mask on and they can help you. So this is how I see it. It's not that no one cares, it's just that everyone should be caring about themselves a bit more in order to be able to care about each other equally, if that makes sense. It'll never be equal, but I think we need to accept that fact. My 10th lesson is to stop waiting for tomorrow, because obviously tomorrow may not come. Now, does that mean you're supposed to uproot your entire life today because you're afraid that tomorrow is like the end of the world? No, definitely not. However, you need to decide the things that you really want. You should be chasing them every single day. You should be working towards them every single day. Every day that you delay your dreams or the things that you truly want is every day that you put behind, and it's every day that is not secured for tomorrow. So say you want to go travel, say you've always wanted to go to Paris, then the time, no better time than now. Start organizing it now and go there in a few weeks' time. If you want to like do a different career change, then start working on your career every single day until you can do that change and change your career. I've been going through this motion a lot in the last year. In the last year, I finally decided, like, you know what? I am going to go to Paris. You know what? I am going to quit my job. You know what? I am going to start a new career. You know what? I am going to publish a book. You know what? I am going to grow an online presence. So you see, you need to make these decisions, and you need to like live every day like it's your last day. And I say that like, what are the things you would do every day on a common day that would still make you happy? So it could be you're working, but you're working in a career that you love. It could be reading a book. It could be going on an excursion. So try to like somehow live every day as if it's your last day, with the hopes that tomorrow may come. My 11th tip is to tell the truth. Now, we all know we should always tell the truth, not lie, blah, 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 blah. The truth will set you free, blah, 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 blah. But the truth is, that is a true statement. The truer you are, at least to yourself, the easier life starts to become. If you like sit down and you just like start being you and start being true, you'll automatically get rid of the people that don't like your true self. Not only that, you'll automatically get rid of the stuff that doesn't align with your true self. So by telling the truth and putting it out there and being honest with yourself and honest with other people, you actually get what you deserve even more. You get what you manifest, right? We're not going to go into manifestation in here, but I do believe there's a power in, standing by your truth, and things start to fall in alignment in result to that. Lesson number 12, a lesson that I keep learning every single year, and it's a lesson that I've learned from my dad, is that you cannot change anyone else. You can only change yourself. So by changing yourself, you might change the people around you, and you might change their reaction towards you. So if you've really been fighting about something, someone doesn't want to change or they don't want to make the effort, then that's fine. You cannot change other people. You need to accept what is as is. It's heartbreaking, it's painful, but it is what it is. No one can change you, and you can change other people. You can only change other people, or other people can only change you if you allow them, and only if you're in extraordinary circumstances where, you're being forced to change, and even that is a facade, or else something bad will happen to you or a family member. You know what I mean? Like, you cannot change other people unless they're willing to change or grow. And if you change yourself, that is the closest thing you'll have to changing someone else. And what I'm saying about changing yourself is that you shouldn't change yourself for other people, but you should change your response to them. That's what I'm trying to say. Lesson number 13, wear what you want. Honestly, wear what you want. Obviously, you can't be nude in public in most places, but wear what you want. It doesn't matter. Like, we're all gonna grow older so quickly, and even when we're older, what the fuck, just wear what you want. Like, you're not too skinny, too fat, too tall, too short, too this, too that, too Middle Eastern for that. You know what I mean? Like, just cut out all the noise. People are gonna judge you anyways, so wear what you want to wear, and people will respond either way. But if you're confident in what you wear, it will show. And lesson number 14 is don't give power to your thoughts. Your thoughts are powerful, but you should not give them power, okay? You can't give them power. You can't act on your thoughts all the time, because there are thoughts that are good and there are thoughts that are bad. So You need to be able to remove yourself from your thoughts and observe them if you want to have a happy life and if you want to make good decisions. And that's seriously what I think is the difference between me and a mindful person. A mindful person will be able to dissociate from their thoughts. That doesn't mean not having thoughts. That means having thoughts, but not like truly immersing themselves, like looking at it like through a looking glass and realizing they're having thoughts. Versus me, I have thoughts and they're compulsive thoughts and I just like dive right into them and I think that those thoughts are me, but they're not me. They're obviously not me. So that's something I'm working on, and that's a lesson that I learn again every year, and it's a very important lesson. Lesson number 15, stop letting people control you or your life. We're such a free society here in North America. If you let people control you or your life or your decisions, then you're always gonna feel in the situation of being stuck, and you're gonna, always long for freedom, for escape, for things that make you feel like you're escaping, and those are things that could be harmful to you in the long run, right? It's obviously easier said than done. I can't just say like, don't let people control you, don't let people manipulate you, because we've all been to it. Like, the nature of human relationship is kind of like having an influence on another person. So I wouldn't call it manipulation, but if you really see that someone is manipulating you, twisting things, and deciding what you do in your life, what you say, how you talk, how you act, your schedule is, and they cannot like accept you as a person that you are, and they really keep you small and you keep you stuck, then don't. Just get rid of that person, or limit your access to that person. And this is where comes the next lesson. My next lesson is to set boundaries with absolutely everyone. I don't care. Set boundaries with absolutely everyone, especially if you're an adult. After you're 18, yes, your parents have certain influence on you and you need to respect them, and especially if you're living under their roof, you can't just do whatever you want, because when you agree to live there, you also agree to certain terms and conditions, right? Irregardless if you're 18 or not, you shouldn't let anyone and everyone do or say things to you without repercussions, without certain boundaries in place. Your friends, they should have boundaries. Your lover, partner, whatever, should have boundaries. Your wife, your son, your children, your aunt, your uncle, your grandmother, anyone, your sister, your brother, everyone requires boundaries, because that is the nature of a healthy relationship, is to have boundaries. You need to even have boundaries within yourself. You imagine if we all lived life with no boundaries for ourselves, then we would do anything. We would ruin ourselves. We would literally die before we even live, because we wouldn't respect any boundaries. We would probably steal or lie or eat so much chocolate till we die. You know what I mean? Like, you need to have boundaries everywhere, and you need to have healthy ones, and sometimes you need to even negotiate them. So make sure you have healthy boundaries everywhere and with everyone, no exception. I don't care what anyone says. I've seen it. You need boundaries, or else people are going to walk all over you and they're going to control your life and they're going to make you miserable, and you're allowing them to make you miserable. Lesson number 17, lower other people's expectations of you and raise your expectations for yourself. This especially goes to people that have trouble with boundaries and that have trouble with people pleasing. If you're always a people pleaser and if you always have people transgressing your boundaries, this is what I would recommend doing. Slowly try to lower people's expectation of you, and instead reinvest those expectations towards yourself so you can be happier and build your confidence. So what I mean is, like, if you want to do X thing, you have to make sure you do X thing for yourself. As you would readily do something for someone else without hesitation and without procrastinating or whatever, you should do things for yourself with the same mentality and with the same conviction. So when you do that, then it is harder for people to come and mess around in your life. People will still try and they will still succeed, but at least you have high expectations for yourself. So other people, they have lower expectations for you, so they will stop pestering you because you won't deliver. Now again, this is always within reason. You don't want to destroy your relationships or your friendships or whatever because, be like, don't expect anything from me anymore, I'm gone. You can't do that, but if you are really in a people-pleasing situation where you never do anything for yourself, I highly recommend raising your own expectations for yourself. Lesson number 18, not everything is worth the stress. I've said it, some grades are not worth the stress, some nights out are not worth the stress, some purchases are not worth the stress. If you need it, you need it. There are some things that are just not worth the stress. You literally waste more time, more energy, and more of your life stressing about certain things than you would if you just did it and didn't stress about it, or if you just didn't do it, didn't stress about it, and moved on. Like, a lot of life is stress, and a lot of our life is stressful, and we cannot diminish that fact because we live in a stressful society. It's a high-paced society, and the housing market is fucking fucked. Like, you know, if you go and Google like Toronto housing market, Ontario housing market, you will understand exactly what I'm saying. However, me sitting here and stressing about it 24/7 will literally destroy my path in working for a solution, in finding a solution, in, you know, making money and being happy and healthy. And being happy and healthy are first and foremost for me. I know a lot of people joke where they're like, I'd rather be unhappy but rich, or unhappy in a big house or something. But you know, the reality is not that. I'd rather be happy and healthy in a small house or in another country than unhealthy and unhappy. That's just me, and that's what I'm saying when I say not everything is worth the stress. So you decide what is worth the stress and what is not worth the stress. That's what I'm trying to say. Lesson number 19, invest your money. I'm talking about not only investing your money in stocks and in investments account, but actually investing your money on yourself as well. So invest your money on your mental health, so such as therapy. Invest your money on skincare, so your skin, you know, how to take care of your skin. Invest your money on better food, you know, don't eat the trash that we are eating. If you can invest your money, just try to invest your money for that instead of investing your money like going out or drinking, etc. Invest your money in courses, online courses that are cheaper than, you know, going for a university degree, unless you want to do that. You know, invest in your mind, your health, your body. Invest in your time, so in your future as well, by investing in investments. So just keep investing, but also don't forget to live and be healthy. Lesson number 20, your health should always be your priority. I don't know, I feel like we all need to hear this, because like we sacrifice sleep, we sacrifice well-being, we sacrifice our health for the immediate gratification of certain things such as money, career advancement, fun, and whatever it is. But at the end of the day, like, what is the point of anything if you're not healthy? And I feel like when you listen to people that have had health scares, this is what you'll learn from them. The number one lesson is to invest your time in your health, because if you don't take your health as priority, I know it might sound harsh, but you're gonna lose more money in the long run. You're gonna lose yourself, you're gonna lose your health, you're gonna lose your ability, you're gonna lose your happiness, you're gonna lose your mental health. You're gonna lose almost everything when your health goes, okay? So if you're in a position where you already are more or less healthy, or you're already in a declining health situation, you need to focus your energy on that. And what ends up happening is that when you go from those situations where you're unhealthy to healthy, things start to fall into place. You start to feel better, act better, look better, and do things better, and actually you start to attract better things. So I know it's hard, and I know it's a controversial opinion, but your health really, really matters. I don't see anyone sitting there being like, health doesn't matter. We act like health doesn't matter though, that's the problem, but health does matter so much. Lesson number 21, limit your social media use and your technology use. We are truly such a connected yet low focus and very depressed society, and that's all to do with scrolling all the time and you literally not feeling fulfilled and comparing ourselves all the time and seeing different things and seeing things that are constructed. Social media, most of it fake. Even this channel, YouTube channel, I'm not saying it's fake, but I'm saying I don't look like presentable like this 24/7. I actually do not really like makeup. I like it occasionally. I do not choose to put lipstick every single day. I'm not this well spoken or well habituated in front of a camera as you think or you seem to know me as, because it takes a lot of work. Obviously I want to show my best face forward while still being authentic, but you need to understand there are some people, their literal jobs is to construct fake narratives and fake images and fake videos and cause fake chaos or drama or stuff like that. Does not mean that you cannot trust anything you see, but you need to trust it with a grain of salt, and you need to really use the time that you spend on investing in other people's stories, invest it in your own story. You need to invest that time back into your own life and do your own things. I'm not saying that technology and social media is the root of all evil. What I'm trying to say is that the way we use it and how much we use it and what we do with it is what paints it into this negative light. So just be conscious about that. Lesson number 22 is become your own best friend and start dating yourself. Now, the reason why I'm saying this is that the longest lasting relationship, as we've seen through most of my videos and through this video, is with yourself. That's why I have this channel dedicated to self-care and educational content, because it's really important to do the work within yourself and to the work towards yourself, because that is your longest relationship. That is what carries you. This mind and this body and this soul and this heart is what carries you every single day. So if you cannot nourish it, if you cannot love it, if you cannot treat it right, if you cannot build the confidence for it, if you cannot make it healthy, make it learn and make it, love, and you know what I mean? If you cannot do those things, then you'll always try to find it elsewhere, and you'll always be a little bit more miserable, and you'll always be stuck and you feel confined, and you won't understand why, because you're always seeking out when you should be seeking in. Because everything that we have, our ability to love, ability to grow, ability to learn, ability to be healthy, all of it comes from within first. And once you do that, then I do believe that everything else in life tends to start falling in place, or at least you're more mindful for it to fall in place because you've done the inner work already. But again, I know a lot of people still think this is hocus pocus, and I know it might be a controversial idea, but as every minute goes by in my life, I feel like I need to be my own advocate. I need to be my own cheerleader, and I need to love myself more and more, and I need to grow more and more. So I love myself as I am right now. I love myself as is, but I am still learning how to become my own best friend. Lesson number 23 might be random, but I just threw this one out there. Might be funny, might not be funny, but switch to a goddamn rewards card. Like, if you like traveling, if you like money, if you like having cash back, switch to a rewards card. Don't procrastinate, don't wait. If I'm thinking like how many years I could have switched to a rewards card, well, obviously you have to be approved for the rewards card that you're switching to. I would have made so much more money back than the money I spent. And now I'm thinking I really want to travel, so why not have a rewards card, reuse the money to travel? So yeah, with finances, don't let what you get being what you get. Always do your research, always kind of like shoot for the moon, shoot for the stars, whatever that expression is. And you never know, you might make a little bit more money, and you might find something new to do that will make you money. So yeah, it was finally time for me to switch to a rewards card, and I'm actually embarrassed to think at how many months and years I've waited to do that when I could have been traveling at this point in time. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. We all live and learn every single day. What can I tell you? So that was the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it wasn't too controversial, but if it is, I hope it at least give you another perspective to consider. I'm not saying anything to harm anyone, and I'm not saying anything to discredit anyone and their experiences. This is just my own experiences and my own life lessons, so you may take and throw out whatever you want, but also feel free to share your own life lessons and your own life experiences. I would love to know, and I'm sure other people would love to know in the comments. Please be respectful of everyone and everyone's experiences, including my own if you can. Please and thank you. But for now, I'm gonna go and calculate how many rewards points I have because I want to go travel. So I'll see you on the next shelf. Bye.